my god, I really just don't know what to do. Kind of had a mental breakdown earlier, and so like my head is hurting so bad, and I'm just like drained and I don't feel good, and I barely had any sleep last night because of reasons, and I'm dealing with chills. So I got in the shower and warmed up and I got dressed for ballet, but I just don't know if like the thing to do is go or just rest, because there's a part of me that's like, I mean, both feel right and both feel wrong, and there's a part of me that's like, I mean, going and giving half-ass would be better than giving no ass, right? And we're starting snow tonight, and I really should be there. I just don't know. I did decide to go and half-ass. So I feel that I should maybe explain the health medication thing, because I have not talked about it publicly. LOL, I say like this is the scandal that is being revealed. But I struggled with depression when I was younger, and then when I became 18, I went to a psychiatrist who put me on, after a couple meds. I finally went to a psychiatrist who had diagnosed me with bipolar disorder, and she put me on a med and a mood stabilizer. And I stopped taking the mood stabilizer because I felt like I didn't need it. I don't know. And then I was really happy with the med. It is Effexor. And I went many years healing, I feel like. I took the drugs. The drugs are working. I don't regret being on it. And, you know, I was also sad for other reasons that kind of went away when I got to, like, live on my own. I don't know, I just remember when I was in high school, I was really overwhelmed. Like, I would go to school all day. I would just want to sleep, and I would just be so drained from just everything that went on that day. And then you're expected to go to ballet for, like, 4 hours at night, and then any homework you might have, and that was a really hard time. And so, like, even to this day, I will not really schedule work days on days that I have ballet, because I don't want to fall back into that same feeling of feeling so overwhelmed from the day that I can't do what I want to do the most, you know? At some point, I went back and saw my psychiatrist and kind of said, like, hey, it's been a couple years, like, I think I'm healed. I think that I'm not bipolar anymore. And she was like, okay, I'll write that down. And a couple years go by again, some stuff starts happening. I'm telling Justin, like, I thought I was over this, you know? And Justin's like, well, I don't know if that's just the kind of thing that you get over. Like, I think that might be something you have forever. And so that's kind of hard to deal with. It's like, well, I don't know what's real, you know? I kind of thought it was over, and now I am realizing that it might not be. And, you know, my mom is in school and she's learning about stuff, and she's kind of realizing that it might not be. And long story short, I was having some hallucinations and mania, and that sounds really crazy, I know, but trust me, it wasn't anything crazy. As far as hallucinations and mania goes, it was mild. Like, I'm supposed to be taking this stuff in order to not be like this, so, like, what's the deal? But I know that, you know, schizophrenic people, I think a lot of times if they have, like, hallucinations and stuff, it's because their dopamine is, like, doing too much. And I had done some research on Effexor, and it wasn't just working on they're finding, I don't know, a lot of stuff. Well, I was never supposed to be on it long term anyway, and now it's kind of getting long term, and I don't even know if it's been studied long term. And then half the people in the world are like, well, you're just gonna have to be on it forever because of your condition is forever. And then I don't know how I feel about that, especially when you feel like so dependent on something, and when you're not able to get it, you just feel like handicapped. And It's just scary. If the apocalypse comes and I can't get my meds, I would be so messed up. If you cold turkey your meds, you're like at an increased risk for seizures or something. I don't know. It's time to get my meds and the days are counting down and that's one more thing to schedule, and what if you don't get it, and what if you're overwhelmed and you didn't get it on time. I have a lot of precautions. Like, I have backups. I have a backup in my car. I think I might have 2 in my car. I have 1 in my purse. But I mean, you can still put it off and put it off and put it off and go through those backups. And anyways, it's just like a lesson on being responsible. And mostly I am responsible. I just feel like I'm rolling up to the trap house that is Walgreens, getting the refill on the drugs for the month. And I wonder, like, am I frying my brain further by making it dependent on something? Like, how can it be good for me? Like, I don't know. How can it be good for me, but I'm also afraid of losing my job and, you know, because I'm not able to get out of bed, or because all the tasks are just overwhelming and I can't function, and I don't know. This all sounds, I just have so many perspectives swirling around in my head, and it all sounds very, like, I can imagine the boomer perspective being like, oh my gosh, you're such a snowflake, like, just get up and go to work like the rest of us and suffer. I was researching it and I'm finding that it was also kind of working on not just the serotonin and norepinephrine channel, but also the dopamine channel. And so I was thinking, like, okay, well, maybe I'm just like getting overloaded on dopamine and that's why I'm hallucinating. So I had tried to get off Effexor a couple times in the past, but then my life just started crumbling and I couldn't. And I was just like, you know, it's too bad. It's too much. Like, I can't deal with this. I would rather just take it. I think I'm just gonna have to take it every day for the rest of my life. But that was all before the hallucinations started happening. And so when that was happening, I was like, okay, well, I'm kind of worried that I might be like making it worse. So I'm gonna start differently this time. I'm going to open the capsule and take out beads, see how that goes, from 150 to 75. And then by the time my like annual doctor's appointment came up, I was able to ask for the 75 milligram prescription instead of the 150 milligram prescription. To my doctor, and he didn't really, when I asked for 75 the next like year, he didn't check with me to make sure that like I was okay or anything. And I am not bashing my doctor at all because I love him. He pretty much does whatever I ask for. And yeah, I did have some months in there that the anger was severe, the sadness was severe, the fights, like the crying, but I leveled out. But I was still having the bad things were still happening. And so I kept going. But I will say, since going down to 75, less mania. Maybe only like one instance of it. And also no more auditory hallucinations except for last month, one time. But overall, all of that's gone down. I just feel like I need to go back there, update her with what's happening, tell her that those episodes kind of like dropped once I got down a little bit. My mom had warned me that the first half of getting off medication is easier than the second half. Now I'm on 75. I counted out all the beads that are in a capsule. There's 200 beads in a capsule, and I started small. I started with like 10. That was too much. And it's crazy because even just taking out 10 tiny beads, my body and my brain were like, something's up. If you've ever, like, so I take mine at midnight. I know the thoughts and the words are just scattered so badly today, but I take mine at midnight, and you know, back in the day or occasionally, I don't really forget often. I usually have a pretty good clock. About 12 o'clock, I am ready to have a snack and take my meds. On the rare occasion that I would forget, when I wake up, I'm in withdrawal and I'm cold sweating. I'm freezing cold. My eyesight is messed up. You just feel like you're swimming through like the darkest of water. So even though I only took out 10 beads out of that 75 capsule and put it back together and took it, I was waking up as if I didn't take it at all. It clears up within a couple of hours, usually. I went down to 5. And it's not an immediate thing. So you might feel fine, like, oh, I can deal with this withdrawal upon waking up and then get normal throughout the day. And you might feel good. But a week or so later, I'm having paranoid thoughts. I'm feeling guilt all the time. I'm sad. I'm crying. I'm worrying. I have no energy, you know, just all the bad things. The bank is coming to collect. You're getting used to it and you're feeling the effects. And you have to get through this time of, yeah, you might not be waking up with the immediate like withdrawal anymore, but now you're going through like the mental, actual like mood withdrawal. That is what's really hard, because you can struggle through the day with weird eyesight and cold chills, like shivering, like you can do all that. But when you're fine, but you're mentally like on the brink, that's what's really hard. I mean, I would feel bad and then just wait until I felt good again. And then about the time that I would feel good, it's time to go back down again. I made a post on Facebook saying that I was a fourth of the way through. And when I say that, it's because I am negative 50 beads out of the 200 bead capsule. And at this point, I cannot do 5 at a time anymore. Probably about the 35 mark, I had to stop doing 5 at a time. I had to go down to like 3 at a time, because 5 was just too much. And then 3 became too much. And now that I've like finally been on 49 for like maybe a month, now I'm down to 50, like negative 50. So I still have 150 beads left to go. There's times that I've been like, I don't think I can do this. I'm calling in, my vision's messed up, which is making me nauseous. Like, the mental is just not good. There's nothing that I liked is bringing me pleasure anymore. My brain was just searching for something. It was literally just like screaming out, give us something. And I was like, should I do copious amounts of drugs before work? Like, would that make me feel better? Will that make it to where I can get through this or go? Like, and that just sounds horrible, and I sound like super addict brain. So Justin's like, well, maybe, 150 back in the day, maybe that was too much, but 75 is just right, and maybe that all the way off is too little, but I don't know what to do. So I finally made an appointment with a psychiatrist, because I actually haven't talked to her in years, and I haven't talked to her since I started having mania and hallucinations. So I feel like she kind of needs to know about that. And of course my mom's like, well, are you wanting more drugs? Because that's what they're gonna do. And I don't really know. Like, I don't want drugs per se. Honestly, I want to be free of this medication and be fine, and I think that I could do it, but I also don't know what to do. Like, I also want to keep my job and stuff, and like, I'm thankful for the time that I had on it, because I really think that I needed it at the time. But is it making it worse? Is there something else maybe I could be on that isn't so detrimental to get off of? Or should I be on it forever? I don't know. And like, I don't know who to trust, and it's hard to trust yourself when you're not a medical professional, but then so often, like, the medical professionals are like swayed by like stuff, and I really just don't know what to do. So I've just been like steadily going, and I have felt good the past like month or so. maybe because I wasn't like going at such a drastic pace. But like I said, I mean, I just kind of got down to 50 in the last couple days. The effects are going to start happening. And I think maybe the effects were happening today. And I'm just not sure. It just sucks to like feel bad, especially when you're doing it to yourself. It sucks to finally feel good again and know that you're going to have to like put yourself through it again. And throughout the whole thing, there's been this like sense within me, like, I'm ready now. I feel like the time is now. The time is right for love by Whitesnake. You know, like, I don't have to do what she says. So all you can do is pray for me, basically. I have seen a lot of stuff recently, doctors being like, what's the 3 hardest medications to get off of? And this is one of them. And there's no easy way. You definitely can't go from 75 to 0. Like, you can't go from 150 to 75 and then just not take it. You have to taper it off, and they haven't made it taperable. So that's what's really messed up. And that's what makes me kind of have like a general distrust for like the whole thing in general. It's like, this is so serious. And you didn't make a taper off method? Like, we definitely need less for this exact moment. Even if they made like a 37.5, that wouldn't be enough. That would be way too much at one time. I mean, I've told you how I've had to do it, and it still has been way too much. There he goes, just eating his butt. He suffers from IBS, itchy butt syndrome. This has been going on for maybe 2 years at this point. You need to be careful because, you know, it's your job, it's your life, it's your friends, your relationship that you're dealing with that is held in how much mental capacity you have. My whole body hurts. I'm just gonna foam roll and just try to take it easy and try to, you know, forgive myself for not going hard. I will just try to remember, like, I could have not come at all. Yeah, but I'm sure that I will feel happy and good, like, once we start doing snow, you know, so we just gotta get through an hour and a half of conditioning first. But I would still like to know, like, people's opinions and stuff, and just try not to hurt me with your opinions, okay? Gentle parenting, okay?